I'm Karceno. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Karceno and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. What is up? What is up? Our dear brother Floyd Mayweather, man, champ. You know, this is sad for all of us out here because this is never supposed to be, man. You looking at all this jury that was listed to be sold. Now, let's get into this from a standpoint that most people can understand. I should have intervened. Bro, you don't get intervened with somebody unless you got the means to intervene. You see, let me explain to you where this started to go wrong. You see, I was around when this guy came about, but only in the tail end of it. Floyd was at the end of his career, but he had the Conor McGregor fight coming up. And these new people were starting to implement themselves more and more. And all of the people that were around, they weren't the same people that used to be there. You know what I'm saying? These are a whole different group of people that started to entwine themselves with the Floyd Mayweather group. And Floyd started moving differently. Now, after his fight with Andre Berto, he told everybody, hey, this is it. It's the last fight. It's the last time. You know, y'all finna eat off me, basically. Like, this is it. I'm not finna go through this progression no more with y'all. Like, this is it. It's over. So if they're going to move with that kind of energy, this is going to be all you're going to get out of it. It's over. Everybody's going to, you know, I hope y'all found a way to make y'all money and this and that, but this is it. He told everybody that, you know, this is it. He only taking care of him and his family now. And that was after the Berto fight. So going into this fight with Conor McGregor, a lot of things was on the table. When I went to the gym, it was like seeing old friends you haven't seen in a long time. So I come there, I'm seeing all my people I haven't seen in so long, bro. And it was like, man, where's Ty? I was like, I haven't seen Ty in a minute. I'm like, where he at? Where's everybody at? You know what I'm saying? And you start, it's like, hey, they gone, you know, they ain't around no more. And even his own blood relatives was sent away for like stealing and all this, and then, you know, he'll bring them back because they family. And it's like, oh man, I thought he was gone. Now he back. And things just started to take different turns. And you start seeing him work with certain people that was like, wow, why would J. Girl grab him? But okay, is this what he wants to do? But I would never trust that guy. Now, my thing is this. There was been plenty of times we came here, we explained to you what happened with the soda company when he wanted to buy his own soda company. And I told him that was a bad idea. I was just like, I don't know. And when you start to be opinionated and you start to dump on people's ideas and they got money and you don't, they'll start to think you're jealous. And then other people who think you're closer to him than what they would like, they jealousy come into play and they want to be the ones in Floyd Mayweather's ear. They want to be the one that's close to him. So they got to move you out the way because they think you just too close to him. Like, how this guy get to be next to Floyd? And I'm not. Who's this guy? So they automatically want to get close to me so that they can get close to Floyd. They think this is how it's supposed to go. Now, when you see a situation like this happen, it's normally because people with some respect in the game, they chase money. More than anything, boxers are the most greediest, chasing the bag people you've seen. Loyalty will go out the door quicker than you can ever imagine. They would say, man, F these people. I'm loyal with you. We got a bag for this much. All right, F them people. And I mean, you could have let these people live with you. They could have taken care of you your whole life. And then they get rid of you ASAP when it's time. Now, when you start to see a lot of things pop up in development, I know, right? Tell me about it. So when I see people not being authentic, I start seeing people go in a whole different direction. Because they don't see like you see. Well, you can hope and wish and pray for like the fact that all of these people see you the same way. They don't. So Floyd started to maneuver and change. Because once he wasn't fighting no more, he was buying skyscrapers. He wanted to get into the real estate market heavy. And him and Al Heyman, who was his business partner, as I told you, was plotting to make a lot more money than what you guys know. So the Nigerian people got involved, and they were supposed to get into a lot of these building aspects that was going on in Nigeria, South Africa, St. Lucia. And I knew because the same project came across my table. And I saw Al Heyman name was attached. So I knew Floyd had to be attached. So I brought it up to Floyd. I said, oh, so you in the St. Lucia project? That's like $1 billion project. That's like $10 million a year in developing. And Matt Damon was also involved in that. I said, oh, Matt Damon has also got a team. They trying to get into this project as well. And he said, well, this is the situation, X, Y, and Z. We went in this direction, then they came after us on this end. So then we had to go into a whole nother venture. And it was like, that's strange. Why would you need to do that when there was no need to? See, Floyd didn't know me from our business side. He just knows me from boxing. So he thinks I know nothing of what I'm talking about. But the fact of the matter was, he didn't know what he was talking about. And the best way to fool Floyd is to bring in a guy who got money, who's seen a lot of money. Floyd is like, look, he's like, you know how I can tell you ain't got no money? I was like, what you talking about? He's like, look at your watch and look at my watch. So he's like, no offense, but I can't take no financial advice from you. You don't know what I'm talking about. I was like, all right, cool. Don't take it. Because I was just saying, I wasn't even giving him real advice. I'm just saying, dude, you in the same St. Lucia project I am. We both in the same run-ins. How did you fall for this? Like, I had a business team around me where everybody in the team wasn't on point, but we can recognize one thing for sure. One crook gonna recognize another crook. And that's exactly what happened. One crook recognized another crook. He was, hey, I'm trying to con people on this. How the hell you finna come around and con people? That's what happened with the St. Lucia project. So when people start making their decisions as to what it was they were gonna do, they start moving in different directions. And it went to a whole nother place. You know, and we sitting there, and as we sitting there having conversation, all of the different factors come up. After all these years, we've been telling people, hey, protect your assets. Protect your assets, man. Look out for yourself. These people are going to try to rip you off. Don't let them do it. Richard Schaefer, who used to be with Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya got caught doing drugs during the whole promotion for the fight with Canelo Alvarez. Golden Boy and Mayweather Promotions were signed to be a joint partnership. Mayweather Promotions didn't have a license yet, and they didn't need to have one. Golden Boy had it, so they was just using Golden Boy. Golden Boy only had Hispanic fighters. And all of the, what you would call black fighters, was with Mayweather. So they had all the black fighters, they had all the Mexican fighters, they can make fights. That was the business deal. So now we can get this promotion and everything going. Doing the biggest fight promotion, Oscar was losing himself. Went on a drug binge like 2 days before the damn fight. So 2 days out before the fight, he goes on a big drug binge, get himself set up again, and there's photographs and video of Oscar De La Hoya in the most peculiar ways. We talking about strap-ons, dildos, the whole nine. It was disgusting. He had to go immediately into rehab to try to save the image of the company. I saw the pictures, dog. I saw. They made their rounds. They destroyed that. You never saw that on the internet. But Oscar De La Hoya, my God, it's an image you can't get out your head. Oh, it was him. It was definitely him. He was butt naked in some pink chaps. And some chick with a black strap-on piece was ramming him in the rear. This made its rounds through our circle. Floyd seen it. I seen it. We were like, oh my God. So this is why he went immediately into rehab. Immediately into rehab. Yeah, that was a different type of clapback Thursday. So they had to get all this out there, right, and get all of it deleted quick. Oh, this was after the 2007 photos that he said was Photoshopped. That clearly was not. Yeah, he confirmed it. That was him. Like, we all knew it was him. They went and made some other fake photos to try to put out there to say, oh, well, this is definitely Photoshopped, to try to confuse the public. Then they paid a judge to rule in their favor. Yeah, they paid all that money just for Oscar to come out to admit that it was him. Then, on top of it, more problems ensued. So, with all of this going on, Richard Schaefer, who saw this activity, and he was partnered with Oscar De La Hoya, began to betray Oscar De La Hoya to come over to Al Haymon. Yes, Floyd fought Canelo in 2013, 2014? So yes, that's 7 years later, there was another incident. There was always going to be incidents with Oscar. Now, do you know how many R-word allegations Oscar De La Hoya has that he settled out of court? One in Mexico, one in another place, in LA. He had like 2 of them. In LA, one in Mexico. I'm telling you, y'all don't know about Oscar De La Hoya's past, man. It's really crazy. Now, with all of this going on, Richard Schaefer switches and goes over to Al Heyman's side. So Oscar sues him because he, basically violated the rights and the rules of the company, right? Which he truly did. But he was like, dude, you out here taking, things up the you know what. So if you're going to go in that route and in that direction, then it don't make any sense to move in such a way. Oscar won in court, and Richard Schaefer he could leave, but he couldn't work in the boxing business. He had to go through a suspension for like 2 years, so he couldn't go and join Mayweather Promotions. So when he came out with another company called Ring Star or whatever, and he was starting his own boxing thing. Then he never could join Mayweather Promotions. Till later down the road, he ended up teaming up with Al Heyman so that he can come up with and join Mayweather Promotions. But here's the thing. Al is getting old. He's getting sicker. And the things that he's doing is focused mostly on the mainstream fights. And all of his other investments and things, he was telling, as far as keeping him in a tax situation, he kept Mayweather in a low tax situation. But Floyd Mayweather is expanding his portfolio by adding characters to his side of the table that shouldn't be there. And because he keeps doing that, it keeps altering the way people are viewing him. And it is definitely something that should be seen and portrayed even more greatly with concerns. His spending habit was shooting up, even with a reduced staff. So it's like you reduced your staff, then you started adding more people. Then you start doing these celebrity event fights because you, Floyd Mayweather, went against what Al Heyman was talking about. So you got rid of and fired Al Heyman as your advisor and went with these guys. Because you said, Al, man, you're getting old, you're going about it, the game didn't change, it modified. That's what you told Al Heyman, a businessman who graduated from Harvard, that he no longer understands the business. So you start doing these celebrity fights, right? And they're supposed to be paying you all this ton of money for these celebrity fights, appearances. You finna buy these skyscrapers, real estate. And Richard Schaefer introduced you to these people as you started to get rid of most people who've been around you your whole life. You pushed out Nate. You pushed out Leonard Ellery. Now, if anybody that was close to Floyd, who was almost like a big brother figure to him, was Leonard Ellery. L was the closest guy to him. L never partied with him. L was the guy that was going to be fresh suit, pressed up, ready to go. Then, where was P. Rilla? The Harlem hot boy. Yo mini-me. Rilla wasn't around as much. That's when I really know something's wrong. P. Rilla ain't around? You didn't go nowhere without Chinchilla Rilla. So You would think if this happened one time, you would learn from it. Floyd lost $20+ million, was scammed out of all of his money back in 2007. Back in 2007, like right after he fought Mayweather, he fought De La Hoya, he fought Ricky Hatton. He got scammed. Shortly after that, ran into this real estate scam where it's quick money. The dude came in, said, man, you invest $2 million into this, and he said your money double each day. It was like, oh man, it was like some Forex trading stuff he was trying to teach him or whatever. He's like, oh, these are scales right here. He's like, look, you just put up your money as collateral, you're not going to lose anything. So the first time Floyd gave him like 1 million, he came back with like, see, you made 2.3. But if you'd have had like 5 million in there, you'd have probably walked around with 17 to 20 million. And that's just one day. So Floyd saw that money come in, he gave up 2 million and he got like 4 million and something back in his account. So he's like, look, now you got 4 million. So Floyd started thinking, oh, I'm gonna make about $100 million in a month with this new thing I got. I was like, Floyd, this is a scam. Like I knew that it's just like the guy on the streets. When he got the ball in the cup and he moving it around, he gonna let you win one. They gonna let you win one to get you sucked into the game. It's a scam, bro. And the person that come up and play it is with it. They in on the scam. How do y'all still fall for the train scam? Like, which one is it? This one. All right, see, you got it. All right, there you go. Y'all, now that's fine for you. Right. Now, that guy, Floyd gave him like 20 million, and he said, 20 million? Oh man, you're gonna walk away with about 200 million. Probably after all this is done. Floyd was all excited about that 200 million. He was like, yeah, about the end of the day, shoot, you're gonna have about 200 million in your account. End of the day, nothing. This dude took 20+ million from Floyd's account, nothing. Absolutely zero. So now Floyd had to go get this dude and get his money back. Floyd went crazy. Dude, it was. So they went out and decided that they were gonna, Floyd Mayweather put out a hit on this dude for like some serious money. And they almost caught this guy. Like this close. Somebody spotted him in Canada. And they almost caught this dude in Canada. But a hit was put out on homie. I don't know where he at today, but a hit was put out on dude. Big money. So Al Heyman helped him become rich again. Helped him get on course to get his bread. That was in 2007. So it was like, okay, he came back, got a big deal from HBO, big money, got advance money for the Marquez fight. He was back out of retirement. He was threatening to go to Don King. He was living in his Orlando house at the time. How do I know all this? I don't know. Maybe I was around, you know. I don't know. Maybe I was around at that time. I don't know, man. I might have just been around. I don't know. But I can tell you, yeah, that was a hit put down for real. Anybody saw that man anywhere, dog? Dead or alive, that dude was out of there. So now, other situations to materialize. You know, it was always constant. You know, you see, we got a whole lot of us there. Floyd's throwing money in the air. I'm there. Money is falling down off my hands. It's falling on my hands. I'm like, there you go. So, and the girl on my arm, I'm like, Jesus Christ. I remember I got in trouble. They was, who was that chick on your arm? I'm like, see, when you with Floyd, the camera is always going to be on 24/7. And now I'm captured. Nah, I ain't take a bill. People like, I would have grabbed that money, man. What is you doing? And I'm like, if we would have grabbed any of that money, it'd have been the end of the day for us. I was like, there you go. You got your photo. You good. And it was me and Floyd, and everybody's like, dude, you and Floyd together, man. Y'all hanging out. This is the coolest thing ever. And this is when he was starting to get with this business investment team. So when we had this conversation about business, this is why he's telling me, you know, like, dude, I could look at your watch and tell you don't know what you talking about with this business. I'm like, dude, I've seen the paperwork. I see Al Heyman name attached to it. And all the security guys he got now are these like Israeli dudes. These big, you know, steroid Israeli dudes. And the Israeli dude that's standing behind me is one of his guys, you know, like, it's like the Mayweather Israeli group now. I'm like, whoa, hold on, champ. Who's these dudes? You see the hat he wear? Yeah, we got the Mossad crabs. So we got the Mossad crabs coming after everybody. And they're our security force. And I'm bigger than the security dude, as you can see. Sino is not some non-massive dude. But your security is a little bit bigger than you and about I'm about bigger than him. He probably lift more weights and do more roids than me, but me and him is probably the same height. But these are the people he was aligning himself towards because they were using him to get what they wanted. Now, remember in Manhattan about 2024, and they said he paid $402 million for 1,000 units for this housing portfolio for 60 buildings with the Black Spruce Management as the seller. And everybody was up in arms, like, man, this is massive. Way to go, Floyd. You're showing Black excellence. This was beautiful. In the upper Manhattan part, which was the city's, biggest sale of the year, that portfolio closed and it was expected to be, fourth quarter, early returns of 2025. $675 million was transferred from 9 DeKalb Avenue to the Silverstein Capital Partners, right? Which had a larger purchase price, but it was a distressed transaction. So some of the Black Spruce portfolio have received an article, like an Article 11 tax exemption up to 40 years for projects that's at least 2/3 affordable. So to recapitalize off that 18, that Article 11 deal that was done, the 1,800 units, but buying a stake in that 97 buildings, that was comprised of 6 different portfolios. And that was aimed to sell at like 50% stake that would value at about $700 million. So when you see that going, all of that investment into the housing, and Floyd was like, man, this holds a deep emotional significance for him because he was owning stock in real estate in the skyscrapers in New York, everywhere. And he was buying skyscrapers in Dubai, all around the world. So he assumed. So he invested with a partner called Meyer Orbach on a $1.8 billion deals for 1,766 unit. But Floyd don't know that person. So Black Spruce was supposedly doing that. They supposedly partnered with Meyer Orbach for the American Copper buildings, the Twin Towers, when they bought those 2 buildings. But it didn't look right. Floyd Mayweather did not seem attached to the deal at all. These companies used his face for promotion and marketing, but he wasn't part of the plan. And when you see that, you're like, wow. Then you got somebody like Antonio Brown, one of his homeboys who Floyd was taking care of. And once he found out all of the things that he was doing wasn't being taken care of, and that Jona was mismanaging his funds, Floyd, who went over there, flew over to that side and started holding up all this Jewish stuff and saying how these were his people and they had his back. Ain't no money like Jewish people money. And man, he made this pivot swiftly over to them, started doing everything they aligned, and it went left from there. No, it looked like billion-dollar deals. There were billion-dollar deals that didn't involve Floyd Mayweather. They used his cachet and his name to promote and market the deals, But behind the scenes, he's on none of the paperwork. He's on nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's like paying somebody for a commercial or guest appearances and things of that nature. And it's sad. It's really sad because this man had the most upside of anybody I've ever known to be in position to really make these kind of deals. And I wish these deals would have came through for him and true. I wish there was something like I could do for him at that level and help him, because this man actually helped so many people and reached back to the hood to help brothers. To have this happen to him is tragic. Everybody else couldn't wait for him to lose money because they were jealous. But he showed these guys how to make money. He showed these dudes how to promote themselves and get paid. They never knew this type of money existed in boxing if it wasn't for Floyd. He showed people how to market fights. The whole nine. And the fact that he got ripped off and everybody was celebrating, like, yeah, good. I'm like, man, y'all foul. I could never wish that on my worst enemies, you know? And these people weren't even an enemy of him. Most of these people got mad because Floyd didn't want to take care of them anymore. You know what I'm saying? And when you get mad because another grown man don't want to take care of you no more, I just don't understand that behavior. How could you be mad that another grown man don't want to give you his money? I was like, whoa, what are y'all doing? Put the camera light right in my face? Like, what y'all doing? Oh, man, this is a crazy time, boy. Yeah, I remember all the good times we had. I remember all the good times. Well, he found out all of the things that was supposed to be going for his protection wasn't. First of all, these guys, Ayala Frisk, the Manhattan attorney, Alexander Selskin, Jona Rechnitz, they orchestrated a multi-year fraud scheme to divert wealth from Floyd's, real estate, jewelry, and personal assets. Now, Floyd, who once, said that Rechnitz served as his investment manager and was his real estate advisor, and he trusted him for his banking liaisons. And he gained trust over all these years, rerouting funds into his own and his other Florida businessman's accounts. And he was supposed to do a private jet sale for Floyd to sell the Mayweather G4 plane. And that was branded Mayweather for a fraction of its value, and which made no sense to anybody. Why he sold it for as low as what he did. And to this day, Mayweather doesn't see the name. We don't know who bought it. And then Floyd gave him a list of the jury. Said, hey, this is the jury. We want you to, take this jury and go ahead and sell it, and get the funds and all of that. Yet and still, no jury. Nothing. Nobody saw anything. So as more and more as the people started to see that this was becoming a bigger problem than they could ever imagine, they never knew how great they never knew how great of a problem this was. So when you start looking at the outer layers and you start looking at these people who took advantage of them, he had a whole list of the jury that he had that was supposed to be sold for like $100 million. And two Miami jewelers only got $13 million in cash for it. $100 million worth of jewelry. His real estate was mismanaged. All the settlement funds from SL Green and all the loans they took out, from $8 million from Hankey Capital, secured by over 4 properties, the entities controlled by Risnick and Frisk, the unrealized investments of 7.5 in wire frauds, Florida LLC owned by Frisk, another 12-month investment plan, and Moore's misery calls the claims utterly baseless. And they refuted it, and they said they have evidence, including Mayweather's own correspondence they knew, right? So Moore's misery says that this is baseless. We have evidence to document that Floyd's own correspondence to all of this. So Floyd hired Leo Jacobs in his firm to get this and said the gloves are off, and Floyd Mayweather is focused on restoring what is rightfully his. The lawsuit was filed the same week he was ordered to pay $1 million in back support for a child with another woman, and he faces IRS liens plus ongoing lawsuits over unpaid luxury lifestyle bills. Now, this guy had already been arrested, served time for ripping off people. Floyd went on stage and defended this man for his crime. He served time for his crimes, but now I think, he's ready to go. He's my friend. I don't trust him 10%, 20%. I trust him 100%. He said that on stage about this man. And the very next year, here he is suing this man for $175 million. People in the business world tried to tell him, don't trust this man. They told him. He wouldn't listen. So I didn't tell him not to trust that man. I just told him that St. Lucia project. I'm like, hey, dude, I've seen Al Heyman involved in this. And I saw blah, 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 and such. Like, you got to understand, I didn't know till about probably a couple months ago that Al Heyman was completely out of the picture. I had to call Sam to find out, like, man, what's going on here? And I'm like, you ain't around the Watsons no more. You're not around anybody that used to have your back and used to protect you in this game. Yeah, it'll always be a problem. It's always going to be a problem because nobody know these people. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know these other people. Floyd was always flexing on people, and he's got to learn to stop flashing money online. The government will come after you after that. Hello? Yeah.
I'm doing a fundraiser for LaShawn. You want to do a ticket?
Oh, what?
I'm doing a fundraiser for LaShawn Ford. I'm about to send it to you.
Who is LaShawn for?
The state rep that's running for Congress.
I don't know anything about that. But yeah, just send me what you got that you want to show, and I'll check it out.
Everything been good?
Yeah. We going live right now.
All right, we'll talk later.
All right. I'm like, who is that? Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, back to what we was talking about with this. Now, politicians need money, right? I've never heard of that politician. Oh, he just sent me this too. I never heard of him. I had to look into him, but mm, no, not really. uh-uh. Absolutely not. If they go down this route, would Floyd recoup his money? Probably not. Not in this business. Most of this thing that Floyd could ever hope for is that he'll win the case, get some of it back, and could be able to close out in some type of bankruptcy thing where they reset everything for him again. And trying to say, well, he got scammed by a guy who, scams people for a living. But when you say you trust this guy 100%, the Navy was like, okay, Floyd, you said you trust this dude 100%. Well, people making fun of him because they was like, "Oh, we told you, you ran to the Jewish guy, and the Jewish guy ripped you off." I'm saying that guy ripped you off. That guy decided to rip you off. To blame the entire Jewish organization or the whole Jewish community. Black folks has always said, get you a Jewish lawyer. Old black people used to tell you, get a Jewish lawyer because Jewish people like money. So yeah, you better get you a Jewish lawyer. That's just how they always taught black people to do. But that's not necessarily true. Now, this guy was a crook. Judge the individual for who he is. You know, the guy was a crook. Straight up and down. And Mayweather, they just wanted his name. They wanted to put him out there and made him believe that he was part owner of all these skyscrapers. And you told the whole audience that this man you trusted 100%. Here's a look at the list of all the jewelry he had out there. The Jacob watch, the 3AP Diamond Factory, another Jacob piece, Rolex GMT, the Hugo Flack Factory, custom one chain, the titanium red strap, GMT rose gold, green strap, RM with diamonds, the RM Roll Gold 65. Look at the list. Floyd had a crazy collection of jewelry. Now, I've never seen somebody sell jewelry and get less than what the jewelry is worth. I sold my gold chain, my 40 piece, and got way more for it than I paid for it. So I already know jewelry is something that you never lose money buying real jewelry. You'll always get money with jewelry. No, it's because this is why all these rappers are mad. It's because they're wearing fake jewelry and don't know it. They don't know the difference between real jewelry and fake jewelry. So it's a revolving door. And the store is always open to rip off brothers of their money. Now, when a white guy make his first million, people they say it's a celebration and a congratulation and a countdown to when he gonna make his next million. A black guy makes his million and it's a countdown to how long it takes for him to go broke. You know it, Skilla, and that's what I had. Skilla, you remember my 40-inch gold chain? I sold that thing, got more for it than I ever paid. Cause they ain't seen no gold like that. That gold was precious. That gold was straight out of Mexico. Yes, that gold came from Oaxaca, out near the Oaxaca area of Mexico, where there's Afro-Mexicans. The African tribe that lived there in Oaxaca, that's why people in Oaxaca look black, because they are black. They don't teach you that. They got minerals out there. Oaxaca is so far away from everything in Mexico. Yeah, pretty much. Those were the days and the times. Jerry is the truth. Trust me, when my gold chain was about to be sold, and they measured that thing on the weight, on the Richter scale, they couldn't wait to get that. Dude, I walked into a grocery store and the dude wanted to buy my chain off my neck. Because he knew exactly what to. I mean, I tell you right now, my friend, come in here, buddy. I'll make a deal for you right now, my friend. I tell you right now, I tell you, I got a good price for you, my friend. Good price. Because you, my friend, I tell you right now, if you sell it right now, I'll give you this money right now. I got it right now. Hold on, I buy this jewelry. No, it's real. The guy knew it right away. This is at a grocery store. They don't even. Dude, like they got a jewelry shop too. They're like, oh no, we got a jewelry shop too. Yeah, I know, man. That's when it's crazy back in those days. Yeah, well, those are the narratives. Those are the narratives that they put in place. 100% to none. None of these people had any inkling as to what was going on with Floyd, bro. Stop. Y'all didn't know what was going on at that investments and times. But unless you see the paperwork, unless you ask to see the paperwork, which Floyd is from the streets, you know, he just go along with it. But when you start flashing money like that, people, you're going to bring forth the snakes because you have what they call liquid cash. You're going to bring something liquid to the table, and those intangibles are never going to stop being reiterated. Liquid cash. That's what they want to see. Oh, hell no. Nobody care about that. No, think about it. If this was you, what would you be caring about right now? What would you be caring about right now? If you was real in this game, what would you be caring about right now? You want to make sure you have enough money, right? Everybody's thinking, let's get enough money, save enough money for the next day, for a rainy day. That's your purpose. You just want to make money. If you're a fighter in this game, the name of the game is save money. Now, there's that gold chain around my neck that you keep talking about I didn't have. Right. And this is why Floyd, you know, he didn't trust, like he trusted a lot of people, but not with business advice. My thing is, dog, you friends with Brady, A-Rod, all these people, go into business with them. Dog, they didn't make 40-inch links with this type of band, with that kind of jewelry, that type of chain. That type of chain did not come like that, with that small of a link. They normally make 40-inch chains with huge links. These small individual links all together is worth the value. But how pristine it was and how much effort and time they went through to make that chain. I didn't realize the value of that chain till years later. I've had that chain for like 15 years. And I'm like, man. And then the cost of gold went up through the roof. Floyd comes in, he's jeweled up, diamonds, everything. So he's got on diamonds, I got on gold. His chain is worth way more than mine. So this dude got jewels going back for an eternity. If I already said I sold it, sir. He said, I bet you still don't have it. I'm like, no, I sold it years ago because I didn't need it no more. 40-inch gold pieces, that stuff has been played out. But I was like, I don't even need it no more. I don't even wear jewelry like that anymore. I know. If I knew now what I knew when I was 20, you would tell yourself different things and you would do different things with your money. I had the gold cufflinks. I forgot who gave me them cufflinks. Somebody gave me the gold cufflinks, man, to go with that shirt. That's a Donald Trump shirt too. That's what's crazy. That's Trump shirt. That's a Donald Trump shirt made in China. The man who's supposed to be the president of the United States had his clothing line made out of China. And that is a Donald Trump shirt. That was a bad shirt. I know firsthand because I was the one that bought it. It's a nice shirt too, man. I was like, man, that was a bad shirt. Man, you see how they had the stripes in it? Man, that shirt was nicely designed. Yeah, that's another street legend. Right, that was a fellow street legend right there, man. Proud of him. Yeah, the Trump shirt. I got on the gold belt buckle. It's always a good time hanging out back in the days, looking at the olds. He said the blue microphone speaking. Big jeans era. Those weren't even really big jeans. But compared to today's time, yeah, the big jeans era. And now big jeans is coming now. Y'all went straight to bell bottoms now. Dude, y'all doing straight up bell bottom stuff. Who is this? Oh, they talking about the Ray J fight. Yeah, we already did the Ray J video already. That was crazy. I walked around my neighborhood. If you from your neighborhood, you ain't gonna have too many problems. I'm not going to Burnside walking around with my gold chain. I'm not going to Burnside like that. Well, yeah, I walked up to Eddie's before with my chain on. Like, if you from the neighborhood, pretty much everybody knows you. Like, you might have one or two dudes in the neighborhood that might try you, but some people, like, everybody. So it's really hard to go at somebody in your neighborhood unless you know, like, I can do it. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me, or it ain't gonna be a situation. But other than that, we wasn't really, like, nobody was really on that time anyway. You would stay away from the people that were on that time. The people that would try you in the hood, who try to rip you off or whatever. You ain't going over there. It's like, what you plan on getting from them anyway? All right, I'm not gonna hang out with the hoods in the alley. Like, hey, what's up? I just came over here flashy. Where the hoes at? Like, no, you ain't gonna do that. And I damn sure ain't going under the bridge to no damn Burnside or over the London town. I'm not going to the towns. I ain't going over to the Burnside. You ain't gonna see me walking over there with my jewelry on like that, just out flashing. No, that'd be crazy. Why would I go there? Why would I say, hey, I'm going to Burnside? I'll tell you, I wouldn't make it past the viaduct. As soon as I came out that viaduct, I'd be stripped. Right under the bridge. They gonna get down on a lot of people. He said, hook me up. I'm looking for a wife. Well, you got Shay over here. Shay, uh-oh, there's a man right there, Shay. He said he looking for a wife. There's no man I was interested in that had a better woman than me. Ooh, no shade. Damn. They said, get him, Shay. Hip Hop Universe took something from me and made a documentary again. Is that what you telling me? Oh, look at him. He's shooting his shot. He's like, hey, Shay. You going after Shay? Heavy, huh? All right. Yeah. So anyway, man, let me get up out of here and get situated. We got more stuff to do. Go to the Patreon. You get to see what's going on with Allen Iverson and our brother AI. Bubba Chuck. We about. Deuces.